Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Isabel and this is Maritime Flair from Ravensburger. I found it in the library the other day. It's a 500-piece puzzle and this one is so special because it was used in a national championship last year. So that is the New Zealand National Championship Speed Puzzling Competition 2024. So there was a puzzle in the finals. Well, there is only final, there is no quarterfinal, semi-final stuff like in the Worlds, but this was a puzzle of the National Championship in New Zealand. So of course I have to have it. When I saw it in the library, I needed to have it. And I'm really excited, as you can hear. So can't wait, let's give it a go and watch this. Alright, done! That was quite something, wasn't it? 1 hour, 5 minutes, 12 seconds. Well, not bad, not bad. Looking at the image, I thought the image was really easy. Like, it's an illustration, it has a lot of different items on there, but the spaces between the items are much more tricky than I anticipated. And the edge is my usual weak spot, it's my arch nemesis. I mean, the channel's called On the Edge, but I hate the edge. But anyway, let's have a look where this would have placed me. Let's go on the website. I would have been here between Georgia and Debbie. What place is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth place, nice. So I would have placed top 10 in the nationals last year. That gives me hope, that's nice. And maybe in the competition environment I would have been a tiny bit faster or just chilling out than in my own home. Or I would have been a bit slower because I would be so nervous. I don't know. Well, let's move on. You know the saying, comparisons are thieves of joy? So this website here is where dreams are crushed. MySpeedPuzzling.com is where everyone can enter their times of their puzzles. So it's global and it's the world elite and it's everybody. And by the way, not sponsored. And let's have a look. Maritime Flair was also used in the national championships in Canada, Colombia and Portugal. Who knew? Interesting. So they're using the same puzzle in 4 different national championships. Well, alright, let's have a look. Wow, the fastest time is 28 minutes. Wow, that is amazing. I'm more than double of this. Wow, that is really impressive. On here, my time is ranked 132 of 275, so almost halfway. Oh well. The average time is 1 hour 9 and 33 seconds. Well, better than average, like by 5 minutes. I guess I'll take it as a win. Anyway, that gave us a little bit of an insight, didn't it? So I reflected back on the puzzling and I identified 3 different issues. Do you think it's funny how Germans count 3 and English people count 3? So 3 and 3, anyway. So 3 different issues that I think I can improve on. Like, I made some mistakes that I don't want to see happening again. So let's watch a time lapse once again and see if you can work out my 3 mistakes that I think that I made. Did you spot anything? So let's go through it together and I'll tell you what I think that my 3 mistakes have been in this one. Number 1, or as the Germans would say, number 1. If you noticed, I'm not sure if you noticed because I rotated the video to make it the right side up, but I actually made the puzzle up sideways. So you can see that I'm always on the left side because I made it up sideways. And I'm not sure, to be honest, why I did that. Maybe because how the camera was set up on the table, I don't know. But to be honest, it would have worked the other way, even with the camera in the way. But maybe because most puzzles are landscape format and I always make them up that way, so maybe that was it. I don't know. It was just plain stupid and I'm pretty sure that it definitely cost me some time and it would be so easy to fix in the beginning, but later on if you're too far in, you wouldn't rotate it anymore. And I mean, like why would I do that? But yeah, so think about that in the beginning and do not make it up sideways. It's so much easier if you make it up the right way up. Just a tip. Number 2, the second one, I think the biggest mistake of them all, and it cost me the most time. Have a look. So in the beginning, I sorted out a lot of the items and put them into piles where they needed to go, and then I put the edge to the left as I do, and then I started puzzling on the items, and the mistake starts pretty early on. So I'm taking parts of the edge and then add them to to the items where they belong. So I've got half of the edge already sitting on the puzzle and half of the edge still sitting on the pile. And it seemed obvious at the time to put the pieces that you know where they belong to the items, but it got me in a world of trouble later on. So I left the edge for way too long. I mean, I'm a fan of starting with the main image and then putting the edge around it later, but at some stage you need to get to the edge to progress, and I left it definitely for too long. So when I finally got to it, we're already past 25 minutes. I'm struggling quite badly here. So most pieces look kind of the same, like all the edges sort of white with a little bit of gray, and some of the pieces are already in the image, so I only have half the edge line there with all the same, and all the other pieces are kind of distributed all over the place. And that was definitely a mistake, because now I have half the pieces sitting somewhere, and because they're all the same, I kind of just need to try and force them together, but I can't because half of them are sitting on the edge already. So that got me in so much trouble. What I should have done is not leaving the edge until past minute 25, and also what I should have done is leaving all the edge pile in one pile and not starting to rip it apart. So by ripping it apart, it made it so much harder that when I finally got to the edge to put it together, and I think because I started pulling it apart, I dreaded it so much that I left it for way too late and made it much worse. So if you're not starting on the edge, leave it in one place and put it together in one sitting. Not past minute 25, but much earlier. So you put together the easiest part of the puzzle, which gives you a little bit of hype and you think you're already that far along, and then you put the edge around it in one go and not putting a little bit here and a little bit there, and then later on you're so confused. Anyway, last one, mistake number 3. So we're past minute 50 here already, and I'm starting to fill in the gaps between the different items, but I still got the pile of the 3 fish. And I'm not sure why I dreaded these ones for so long and ignored them. The pile was sitting there already since minute 20. Now I finally realize I cannot leave it any longer because I'm already filling in the gaps. But the pile is on the other side of the puzzle. So I started to make, all the other pieces are still there, so I pushed them to the side, make way, move the pile with the fish down, and this costs so much time moving all the pieces together, and you're kind of risking to accidentally flip some, so you have to reflip them back. And yeah, that was not a good move at all. So I'm puzzling the fish on my side, then lift them back in, and I guess I couldn't have gotten up and walked around the table, but in a 500-piece puzzle, I wouldn't recommend that, because walking around the table also costs you time, and there might be things on the floor, like your bag, maybe cables, and just the table, the foot of the table or stuff like that, you know. So on a 1,000-piece puzzle, or if you're in a teams competition, you could probably do that, but in a 500-piece individual, you have no time to get up and move around the table. So there are 2 things I could have done. So the first thing, which is definitely the obvious one. I shouldn't have placed the pile on the other side of the table to begin with. I mean, in the very beginning, I put all the piles to where those items are in the puzzle, which made sense, but for some reason I ignored the fish and just left them there. So, yeah, should have puzzled it much earlier when it wasn't so far away yet and there wasn't so much in the way. But then, once I got to the problem, and I had already created the problem, what I should have done is get up from my chair and just bend over and puzzle it in the place rather than trying to make space here and push it through and like waste all this time. And yeah, I know it's hard to get up and at that time of the day your back probably hurts and I don't know what, but we're back at the sports aspect of this sport. Speed puzzling is a sport, at least that's what I'm advocating for. You know, that's time for another video. I promised you that video and I will make it at some stage, but that's what I should have done. Alright, did you see any other problems or areas of improvement? Let me know in the comments. And while we're at it, please consider to subscribe and hit the bell icon and all the good stuff. That way you will stay up to date with everything that's happening here on the channel. For example, this weekend I'm attending the Hawke's Bay Regional, Hawke's Bay Regional Speed Puzzling Event. That's the official name. So it's a regional speed puzzling event in Napier, and for the first time I've signed up for the teams competition. So it's me and 3 other people who are attempting a 1,000 piece puzzle against other teams of 2 or 3 or 4 people, and I'm sure you don't want to miss that. So please subscribe and have a good day. Bye!